All right, y'all. Good morning. Well, I guess it ain't morning. Hell, it's almost 11 o'clock. I really hadn't anticipated coming out here today because weatherman said it was supposed to be storming, thunder, lightning, and all this other crap, which I don't mind rain. I love fishing in the rain. I just don't like it when it's lightning and stuff like that. Well, the more and more I sit at the house, I'm like, I kept checking radar. I'm like, well, it's really not that bad. You know, I'll throw this stupid thing on and I should be good. But anyway, so we're out here. We're kind of doing a continuation of what I did last video. We're targeting more structure, which I found a nasty log jam back here, which one of them ones I've never scanned before, never seen it before. So we're going to sit up in front of it and see if there's anything in it. They really ramped up the current today. I don't know what kind of trash they're kicking up, so I'm trying to, oop, there's a bite already. So I got to try to stick to the inside bins because there's a lot of logs and stuff that's floating, which means they have let this water come up pretty quick, which that could trigger a good bite when that water rises like that. And I guess they're anticipating a lot of rain coming. So they're letting out probably the reservoir above us, and pretty soon they're going to be raging this. But yeah, it's big. You know, it's a great time to really to get a good bite. I don't know what's going to happen today. Like I said, I don't know what kind of trash. It looks like them lines are being pushed over, so there may be quite a bit of trash. But I'm right on the edge of what I would call a current seam, and I've got more spots that I'm going to scan up. But like I said, I'm going to have to stick to these inside bins. The one thing about these rivers that I can probably tell you, and some of y'all that fish rivers probably already know, that when they're lowering the water, it kind of seems to concentrate all the trash and debris to the center. But when they're raising the water, it just kind of, you know, spreads it out. So that way you can always, you know, have a good idea if they're raising or lowering the water. But yeah, we're going to set up on this spot, and I'm going to keep scanning up because like I said, none of this I've ever fished before. It's a whole new bank for me, provided we can keep a lot of this debris and stuff out of the line. We'll hopefully get into some good fish today. So yeah, sit back, relax. Now that would definitely ruin somebody's day right there, that log. And I got some more junk coming up in front of me, but I don't know, we should be able to make it through all this. All right, well, we gave this spot about 30 minutes, but I'm definitely gonna remember it because that is a big, nasty brush pile. Now I just got to see how much trash is in my line. Well, we did have a couple bites here. I had a bite on this rod, and I had one smack the suspended rod, but that was about it. So we're gonna work our way up this inside bend here. No, it wasn't too bad. We're gonna work our way up just a little bit further. Just kind of, well, we're gonna just keep working. Because like I said, this stretch here I've never fished before, so I wanted to fish it. I don't know if we've got a fish playing with that one. It sure looks like it though. Looks like an old flathead. Looks like an old flathead down there playing with that one. He's swimming with it, whatever you're doing. Or was it a stick? No, it was a fish. Interesting. Yeah, it was definitely a fish. Interesting. Ooh, here we go. There we go. There we go. Why do you always want to go towards that other line? Not a monster. Not a monster. But he sure wanted it though, that's a fact. I can feel him down there twirling. So I just got to get out of that current as much as I can. Well, don't go that way. Yeah. Old Muddy Blue. I had him bite on that outside rod over there, but he didn't take it. Well, good deal, buddy. I'm glad you decided to play. It has been slim pickings. It's almost like you didn't like this current moving as fast as it is. But I surely appreciate it. You old muddy thing, you. You old muddy thing, you. Oh yeah. Boy, you are bloated. Heck yeah. Let's see if I can help you out with that. You did come out of 40 foot of water. Okay. Alrighty. You are good to go, buddy. I appreciate you. Thank you. This fast current, every one of y'all feel big. Thank you, sir. Good deal. Got us a little treetop back here. We're also right on the channel edge. I didn't really mark any fish, but hopefully there's something in that treetop. You know, an old flathead laying in there or something. We'll give it a little bit. Ooh. God dog him. Well, I hope he wasn't the only one in that treetop. Because he is not a big one. He is not a big one. But he definitely wanted it though. That is a fact. He definitely wanted it. Come on, buddy. I appreciate your enthusiasm. I really do. They're just so pretty in this clean water, or clean water. But they are just muddy as can be. Yeah, I appreciate your enthusiasm. Well, either way, let me get this hook out of you. God, dog. Yeah. You are stuck, buddy. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. I surely hope you're not the only one in that treetop. Surely not. Sitting there not paying attention. I got rods going off. All right, we're gonna move up, set up in one more spot. That'll be it for today. That will be it. Oh God. And he dropped it. I don't know how he dropped it. Bow the rod like that. That was on that piece of white bass. That's good. There's a bite. There we go. There we go. Good deal. Not a big one, but right where they should be. There's a bunch of structure back there. And the one thing that I can say though is there's a bunch of Asian carp right here. And these cats, sometimes I like to hang out with them. And I'm not real sure why, other than the fact I think it, it makes for easy pickings because it's not all big Asian carp. I'm sure there's some little Asian carp mixed in with them that these cats like to eat. But I've noticed that on more than one occasion where if I see a big pile of, Asian carp somewhere, typically there's cats around them. Just wish I could catch some of the bigger cats that are down there though. That's 2 quick bites. No, go stay, come over here. One on the white bass chunk and one on this skipjack head. They're just so tight to the bottom, boy. Yeah, they're just so tight to the bottom. Come on in here. Come on in here. Yeah. Well, you could have done all that out there. Got it out of your system. That would have been great. Yeah, not a bad fish. Not a bad fish by no means. Biggest one of the day. Yeah, biggest one of the day. Probably about 15 pounds. But just covered in mud though. Whole back side of him just covered in mud. Well, I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you. That was quick, 2 bites right there. Just these fish are they're getting that water temp coming up, stuff like that. These fish are just, man, they are tuned up. All right, y'all, we're gonna go ahead and close this one out. We did what I would consider junk fishing today. My whole intentions when I left the house today, well actually because I didn't get to the water till almost 11 o'clock, so I got a few hours of fishing in, was to come out and do some dragging. Well, that didn't work out. I didn't really pay attention to the website and see what the flow was, but it's pretty good in the places that I wanted to drag. I could probably get away with it if I was using my 8-ounce weights, but I wasn't going to mess with it. And then so I figured we'll just continue on with with what I was doing before. That was fishing structure. Well, some of the structure, a lot of the structure I wanted to fish still had a lot of, well, now that they turned the current up, it had really good current on it. And I did not get bit at all. So if there was anything in them trees or whatever, they were pretty much pinned down and they weren't going to eat. So it wasn't until I started getting out of the main current, you know, kind of close to the banks like this, that I started getting bit. Now, nothing big, but, you know, still makes for a fun day catching fish. And that's what I ended up doing, was finding just little pieces, because a lot of the bigger stuff is, you know, kind of on the little points and stuff where the main flow goes there in the, you know, then once it just hangs up on the bottom and it stays there. But yeah, but like this spot here, this was kind of like a little random spot. It's just the end of a point. But I had noticed there was a bunch of Asian carp up here. Now I can see they're flooding my screen. And like I said earlier, that sometimes I've caught fish when the screen is just littered with Asian carp or whatever. And so that's why I tried here, and I had that one good takedown on this rod that somehow didn't get hooked up. That was on a piece of white bass, and we caught that one on this skipjack head. So I guess it just, you know, that's why I'm saying we were doing today was just junk fishing. So I was trying all kinds of stuff. Just, but this is again another spot that I've never fished before, but it seems fishy just by the looks of it and what was on the bottom. So yeah, we're just kind of biding our time until these fish want to start feeding up for the spawn. They're kind of still in that transition period from what I'm gathering. The biggest thing we're running into is our water temps. We'd get up, well, I've seen it up to 65 degrees. Well, now it's just barely getting back up into the 60s. So these fish just don't know what to do. Then they kick this current, but their TVA is preparing for all this rain. So, you know, can't fault nobody for that. But anyway, with all that being said, I appreciate you watching this one, and I'll catch you on the next one.